right? The author or the creator says. Okay? So this is an attempt to preserve the originality of the work. The second way they do it is to deposit their work as soon as it's created, deposit a piece of their work with a solicitor or an accountant or someone whom they can trust to certify the date of this deposition. Okay? The third thing they do is to go before a commissioner for oath or notary public to make a declaration, okay, as close as possible to the date of creation, that they have created this work as of this date. Alright? Have you all gone through the slides yourself before you came to the lecture? Actually, no need, no need. Just come to the lecture. So my question here is, all these actions, alright, all these actions, what is it meant to preserve? In fact, what does it preserve? What does it demonstrate? What does it prove? The length of today's lecture will really depend on how fast you get this one. Look again at these three actions that the author or the creator takes, right? How many things is he able to prove? Yes? Sorry, what does he prove? Date of creation? Yes. Prove that the date of creation of this piece of work. Very good. That's one. Okay? That's one. Anything else? Especially the envelope thing, quite easy to prove that as at the date, okay, of the creation, as at the date of the stamp, of the ink stamp, this piece of work already exists. Anything else? What does he sought to prove? What does he want to prove? His ideas. He sought to prove the originality of that work. Now you look at your definition of originality. What it is? What is it? Can someone tell me what is, if he seeks to prove originality, what is originality? Originality has two parts, right? Hello. There must be 100 people here. Hello? Hello? What is originality? Yes, independent skill, effort, and judgment. So how does he prove, does that act of whatever that is, right, prove independent skill, effort, and judgment? No, right? Why not? Why not? Look at what you wrote under independent skill, effort, and judgment. What were those words? You're like primary school like that, huh? Exactly. You do not look at the final result. You do not look at the final work. You have to observe the creation process. Understand? So, in fact, originality is very hard to prove. Because no one sits beside you in the creation process, right? Okay? In your normal course of work, now I'm talking about you, in your normal course of work, what kind of document actually might show a creation process, might demonstrate the creation process? Yes. Your what? Your what again? Yes. Your logbook. So don't underestimate, okay, the importance of filling up your logbook concurrently, okay, consistently, okay, because you either don't need it, but when you really need it, your life depends on it. Okay. The second requirement is tangible. Okay, the requirement tangible is further down in the slides, but I will talk about it now. Tangible means that it must have just any kind of material form. Could be written, could be recorded. Could be physical, could be electronic. Okay, any kind of material form. This means that a speech like what I'm giving now cannot have copyright even if it is original, even if I expend independent skill, effort and judgment, but it has no tangible form. Okay, is it recorded anywhere? No. Is it written down anywhere? No. Okay? No. So, for a piece of work to have copyright, it must have a tangible form. Okay? The third thing is, it must be a work. What is a work? For this, there is no spurious idea of what work is, because what constitutes a work is exhaustively defined in our Copyright Act. Now, all you need to know is, Copyright Act defines 5 types of work and nothing more. 5 types of work. They are, number 1, literary works. Okay, these 5 types, if you go about 4 or 5 slides down, they are all listed there in bullet points. Can you see? Can you see this slide? Okay, so we're going to write. Okay, just listen. So, literary works, 1. And these are the kinds of works that we are most familiar with, literary works. Anything, okay, referring to written, that's written, and it could appear as novel books, it could appear as lyrics in songs, articles in journals or newspapers, okay, and so on. What is special under literary work would be source codes of computer programs. Now, I understand that computer programming is not a compulsory subject in engineering. You have to be in computing school, alright? But computer programs, there are a few ways of expressing it. One way is in the form of what looks like a human language. You can read it, you can actually read it out loud, okay, a computer program. So that version of a computer program is called source codes, and they are protected as literary works under Copyright Act. Okay? The second kind of work will be dramatic works. Okay, the examples are given here, and musical works, examples are given here. Musical works refers to just the scores. Right? You know what are scores, right? Now, musical works does not refer to the sound of music recording, the audio version, it does not refer to that. Musical works refers to the scores, that which you can see. Okay? Artistic works are the other kind of work that we are familiar with. Artistic works, pictures, photographs, paintings, sculptures. It need not always be in print, it need not always be in 2D format. It can be 3D as well. Models, for example, statues, sculptures. Okay? Then the fifth kind of work is a bit special. It says compilation. Any compilation of any 2 or more of the above 4 kinds of work. Okay? So these are the 5. In the examination, if the question asks you what are the kinds of works that attracts copyright, okay, just answer like that. Okay, write 5 words, then move on with your life. Okay? No need to write long, explain to me what is literary. I already know. I'm a teacher. I already know. And you look at the marks, 5 marks. Give me 5 points. Alright, write like that. Okay? For my question, just my question, you can answer like that. If you know your work, you can answer like that. Alright? So, where is the copyright in the web page? Let's see, let's go to a web page. Which web page shall we choose? Okay, let's go to Chrome. example. Alright? So normally for a web page, almost every web page, you will see photographs, pictures, right? So this picture is a piece of artistic work. It might have copyright, okay, because it's kind of work, okay? Original, tangible form, electronic form is a tangible form, huh? So it might have copyright. There's copyright in this, copyright in this, copyright in this. And then there's a written article, this one. Okay? This is a piece of literary work that might have copyright. Correct? Then, this page itself, a combination of photographs and a written article, a combination of artistic works and literary work is called a compilation. As a compilation, it has copyright as well. Okay? There is copyright in compilation as well. So this is a piece of work, work number 1, work number 2, work number 3, work number 4, and this is work number 5. There is a work number 6, which is a compilation of work number 1 to 5. Okay? Now, fortunately or unfortunately, you have to know this part as well. Copyright also says that there are some other things, okay, subject matter we call, some other things that Copyright Act doesn't consider them to be work. But for the sake of copyright law will recognize that they can have copyright as well, despite not doing work. Okay? So, remember just now I asked you to put copyright and then 3 branches. The 3rd branch is work. You could put under that word, work, just put some exceptions. Sometimes it doesn't have to be work. Right? And then just commit this to memory. These are the 5 kinds. Sound recordings, films, broadcast, cable programs, and performances. Just commit them to memory. Right? Any questions so far? Anybody consciously trying to follow but still not following? Now, if nothing else, please go back home and keep looking at this particular slide. Okay, keep looking until you understand. Because it's important that you understand this particular slide. For the purpose of understanding copyright. What does not have copyright? Okay? If you look at the 3 branches, so long as that piece of work or non-work does not have originality or tangible form, or it's not a piece of work and doesn't fall within the exception, it does not have copyright. No way it can have copyright. Okay? So, I have just explained bullet number 2, bullet number 3. What is important is bullet number 1 as well. Ideas, concepts, discoveries, procedures, methods, and aims do not have copyright. When I asked about the creator who put his work into a sealed envelope and posted it himself, then subsequently I asked, what is he attempting to prove? Right, so there was a comment that he was trying to protect his idea. Now, the idea is not protected by copyright. Okay, concept is not protected by copyright. What do I mean by that? This particular part, almost every semester, about half the class don't quite get it. So I'll try to explain it as in a very basic way. if you have an idea, imagine that you are this cartoon character in idea, then there's a bubble on top, right? Then there's a light bulb. Correct? So this is the idea. Okay? This is the idea. Everybody can see the light bulb. Okay? But they may or may not know what your idea is. Okay, but you can see that there's a light bulb. So you start to write down your idea. Write down that this is what. You can illustrate diagrams, or this is the idea, or this is the concept. Okay? Usually it's quite clever. Okay? Then, what does copyright? You say that this is my copyright, and people will agree that this is your copyright. But what does copyright protect? Copyright protects your piece of writing. Okay? Copyright protects. Now people know what the light bulb means. Okay? But copyright doesn't protect that idea. Copyright protects that writing. How well or how not well you write it. Okay? So people cannot take this and reproduce or copy or photocopy, cannot even take a photograph of it. Understand? But copyright does not protect this idea. Right? If I understand what these are, and I write it in a different way, expressing still the same idea, but expressing in a different way, I do not infringe the copyright in your written article. So the common way of saying it is that copyright protects expressions of ideas, but copyright does not protect ideas. So in your free time, which I believe will be the time you commute, the time you shower, the time you're on the toilet roll, and these are where a lot of ideas and concepts start coming in. Okay, so you think about this. It's important for you to understand why people say that copyright protects expressions of ideas, but not the ideas. Do you get it now? If you're shocked, you at least must understand. Okay? Then we move on. Now, last week we delved into quite a bit on trademark registration, how trademarks are registered, how they can be registered, how difficult it is for some trademark to get registered. Now, but for copyright, there is absolutely no need to register and no way you can register, because there's no such system for you to register, even if you want it. Okay? Every semester, every batch, there will be a handful of students in the examination who will keep writing pages and pages of how to register copyright. Okay, you must do search lah, must go to WIPO and this is like international registration. Never, there's no registration mechanism available for copyright. Copyright exists and you are protected by copyright as soon as your work is created and it has a technical part. Okay, automatic. Okay, automatic. Does it matter that your work is similar or same to an earlier piece of work? Does it mean that because your work is same or similar to an earlier piece of work, it does not have copyright? Now you look at the three branches again. Okay? Which of these three branches say that it has to be totally new, okay, and not similar to any earlier piece of work? So long as there is originality, meaning the expanded independent scale of judgment, it's tangible and it's a piece of work, you have copyright. Okay? Doesn't matter if it's even ugly, people don't like it, right? Or doesn't matter. You have copyright. The owner of the copyright would be the creator or the author. Always, except in two situations. First situation, you are employed by a company or by another employer, and the work that you have created is in the course of your employment. Second, is when, well, you are not exactly employed by this employer, but you are commissioned by them or asked on a project basis, paid project basis, to do or create a piece of work. In each of these situations, the copyright in the work resides in your employer or in the commissioning party. Okay? This is what the law says. Alright, so there are two exceptions in which the creator himself or herself does not own the copyright, but the copyright goes onto someone who either employs the creator or commissions the creator to create this piece of work. However, if you are the owner of copyright, you are the owner of intellectual property. Intellectual property owners can have four ways of dealing with this intellectual property: sale, assign, license, and mortgage. We have gone through what's the difference between a sale and an assignment, also a sale and a license. Okay, and we explored a bit why sale, why license, why assign, right? Right? Okay. Oh, anyway, I left you all with two questions to consider last week, right? Or was it three? Two or three? Three, two. Still remember or not? Got answer or not? Engine students are asking, so what's the answer? So what's the answer? Got answer? What were the three questions? You don't remember what are the three questions, right? I remember. I might be an old man, but I remember. Okay. So, how does a copyright owner deal with his copyright? Just like how any other owner of intellectual property can deal with intellectual property, sale, assign, license, and mortgage. The only difference with copyright is that because it is a bundle of rights, right number 1 to right number infinity. So technically, the copyright owner can pick out a certain right number 3, okay, do something with it, like maybe sell it, and then it still retains right number 1 to infinity except for number 3. So copyright can be dissected. You may have heard, I mean, sometimes in layman terms, a reporter will write about how this author will sell his rights to a movie maker. Okay, the right to convert from a book form into a movie form. Okay, only the copyright owner can do it. Okay, this is another of the commit to memory part. No registration. Trademark has registration at least. So each registration lasts for 10 years. If you remember to renew it, each renewal lasts another 10 years. So it can go on indefinitely. Now, copyright has no registration mechanism, but it does still have an expiry date. Right? For literary, dramatic, musical, and artistic works, okay, how long does it last? It is the life of the author plus 70 years thereafter. For as long as the author lives, and then another 70 years. So really, I can't remember what I said for this semester, but it really, if the question asks you how long does copyright in the literary work last, please just write life of the author plus 70 years. It is not the same as 70 years plus life of the author. Okay? Different. Okay, different. This is not mathematics. Okay? If the work is only published after the death of the author, then it will be 70 years from the date of publication. Then for the other kinds of non-work subject matter, sound recording and film, 70 years, broadcast and cable progress, 50 years. Okay? If it's a compilation of anything, then it's 25 years from the date of first release. So all this just commit to memory. Okay? Try to use the exact words. Write short form. Don't write short form. Okay? Just commit to memory the exact words. Now, I said very, very early on that copyright is a bundle of rights. These are some of the rights that comprises copyright. Okay? These are some of the rights. We shall not be ambitious.